Yes, I'll just repeat the question so everybody understands it. What you're referring to, you were watching my CNN town hall on YouTube, and countless people said this. While they're watching it, it went black. They couldn't share it anymore. It got 200,000 views in a matter of hours. CNN, and I'll tell you, this is now exposing the rot of the media. I'm going to lift the curtain a little bit on this. People deserve to see what actually happened here. So CNN did a town hall with Ron DeSantis. They did one with me the night after. I think I gave some answers they disapproved of a little bit more, and talked about the truth of what happened on January 6th. Third rail topics that I think CNN's audience deserves to hear, but they didn't want them to hear. They cut off my town hall 5 minutes early to bring on a panel of experts to then re-educate their audience on how everything they'd heard was misinformation, when in fact it's absolutely grounded in fact. Then the next day, that town hall's up on our YouTube, got 200,000 views in a matter of hours. They called our campaign, threatened us with sending us a cease and desist, but also apparently it looks like worked with YouTube to have it taken down, blacking it out, at least in the meantime, blacking out that content. And that's dead wrong, because you don't know what? Nikki Haley's town hall with CNN, where, you know, certain puppets say what the mainstream media is comfortable with them saying, the controllable candidates. Her YouTube and CNN town hall is up from months ago, 60,000 some odd views over many months. We got 200,000 views within hours, yet CNN actually had us be the ones who take that town hall down. That is unfair. It is wrong. It is election interference in this GOP primary, and I think that they're election interfering in the Iowa GOP caucus. The mainstream media, and it doesn't just include left-wing media, by the way, the corporate media is engaging in election interference in the GOP caucus, and it is wrong. But the good news is, today, unlike 10 years ago, we have alternative ways of people reaching directly. Actually, those of you who don't know, I'm actually on a bus on my way to Sioux City as we're taking this teletown hall. I'm here with friends from our campaign. Pastor Mike DeMastis is here with us. We got one of my colleagues here taping this and live streaming this on a number of social media platforms. And so my view is, let's just reach people directly, actually directly, without the mainstream media gatekeepers in between. And so on the same night that they're going to be doing that pathetic fake CNN debate, where two candidates recite pre-vetted talking points from their donors to a bunch of audiences of people who are controlled by what CNN thinks their audiences can and cannot hear, I'm going to be with Tim Pool doing a live audience show with a podcast directly reaching people across this country, and it's actually one of the top-rated podcasts, with a live studio audience of Iowa caucus goers in person. So this is how we win. The media wants to corrupt this process. The media wants to interfere with the Iowa caucus. We're not going to let it. We're going straight around them. And that's why I'm asking you. I'm the most censored candidate in this race. Even before this little incident, about a month ago, there was an independent nonprofit group that found I was the most censored candidate, and then Robert Kennedy, and then Donald Trump. But the reason they're censoring me or silencing me isn't because the things I'm saying are false. It's because they are true. And they're afraid of you hearing the truth. If you want to hear falsehood, turn on the mainstream media. They'll tell you about the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that never was. They'll tell you about the Hunter Biden laptop story being false on the eve of that last election. That the COVID-19 pandemic wasn't actually a man-made virus in a lab in Wuhan. That's what they'll tell you. They'll lie to you about the truth of what happened on January 6th, about how our money's being spent in Ukraine, about the Jeffrey Epstein client list. You go straight down the list. They're going to keep lying to you about what we know to be true. So the reason they're censoring me, the reason they're trying to silence me, is because the things I'm telling you are actually true. That's what frightens them. But they don't get to decide who runs this country. That doesn't belong to the mainstream media. It belongs to you, this people of this state. We start in Iowa. We're doing it this way for a reason. But it's up to us not to be a nation of sheep, a nation of followers. Again, that breeds a government of wolves. And so I'm in this to make sure that we don't let the other side win this war. We're in a war for the future of our country. It's not a war between black and white. It's not even a war between Democrat and Republican, really. It's a war between those of us who love the United States of America and a fringe minority who hates this country and what we stand for. And I'm in this to make sure that the other side doesn't win this war, that we the people do. That's my job as your next president. If you all do your job on January 15th, and that's what I'm asking you for, at that Iowa caucus, take 30 minutes of your time to save this country. I am asking for your vote at that Iowa caucus. If you're President 1 now, you commit to caucus for us, we're going to tell you exactly what you need to do. But if you do your part, my family and I, we are going to do ours to make sure that our kids still grow up in a country where they get ahead with their own hard work, their own commitment, their own dedication. And that, you know what, you are free to speak your minds at every step of the way. And one final word of truth I'll leave you all with before we part ways. This one's going to be hard. Hard to swallow. It's hard for me to say. But it's the truth. If you think they are going to let Donald J. Trump get anywhere near that White House again, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and see the truth. This system, these people, they are so corrupt, but they have made it clear they will stop at nothing. And at this point, I mean nothing, to keep this man away from Washington, D.C. and the White House. They're leading us into a trap. Do not fall into that trap. They're selling us the rope today that they will use to hang us tomorrow. We cannot walk into that trap. Our America First agenda is bigger than one man. It doesn't belong to Trump, just as it doesn't belong to me. It belongs to you, the citizens of this country. It did not start in 2016. It started in 1776, and we owe it to our founding fathers and to this country to make sure we have another 250 years and then some left in our American journey. So do not walk into their trap. You're going to look back 12 months from now. We will. Are we going to say that we were shocked at what they did? Or are we going to say that we should have seen that coming? It's up to us to make sure we do the right thing. We love the man because he got this fight started, but it is now our job to finish it. And you've got the future of America First right here in this race. That's me, and I'm asking you to do the right thing, not for me, not for Trump, not for any other candidate, but for our country. That's why I'm asking you to caucus for me. So if you all do your part, yes, I promise you, we will do ours to make sure that our best days are still ahead of us, to make sure that we have another 250 years and then some still left, and to make sure that we revive this country that our founding fathers gave us. It is a 1776 moment that we live in. Let's revive those 1776 ideals. And it is going to take, just as it did when Thomas Jefferson was 33 years old and he signed that Declaration of Independence, I believe it is going to take somebody whose best days in life are still yet ahead. And I don't take that for granted, but I hope and pray they are. Somebody whose best days in life are still yet ahead. To see a country, to create a country whose best days are still yet ahead of itself.